Hey y'all, we're going to be working with the glass filter today. I have a few layouts in the forum for you to look at to be inspired by what I did with this filter in my layouts. And then I have a couple files here that we're going to be playing with in the video. I have here a photo I took of a corn stalk against a stormy sky that we're going to be playing with. And then I have here a texture from My Tongue Textures, and I just duplicated it on my page, converted it to black and white. It's not here, but I'm just explaining what I did. And then did a save as, and I saved it as a .psd file on my desktop. Just remember that little tidbit, because I'm going to show you in a bit where we work with that. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my layer so that I've got the spare one here to play with later. Filter, Distort, and Glass is where you find this filter, and it does bring up the filter gallery. I should mention also that it does, let's cancel this out, it does matter what your background, and I think it's just your background color is, so I'm going to press D on my keyboard. Let's go bring that back up. And we're going to fit to screen so you can see what's going on here. Now, right now, we're going to choose the blocks texture so that you can see what it does. There are 4 options that are default that come with Photoshop Elements, and if you can picture glass, maybe a window on a side of a building that might be tinted. Maybe you're, for this blocks one, maybe if you'll recall, a wall may be made up of glass blocks, and as you try to look through the wall outside at the sky, this is what you might see. And of course you can scale it up. Usually those blocks are a lot bigger. This actually almost looks like a distortion in a shower door stall that I've seen, and so that might be something that you can relate this to. And so you can do the scaling to scale it up so it's bigger. You can change the distortion to make it a little softer. Here it's so soft you almost can't see it. Bring it up. So you could do something a little bit more subtle like this, and then change the smoothness of it. Actually, when you bring the smoothness down, you actually see it's actually opposite of what you're thinking. You bring the smoothness down, and you can actually see the lines a little more clearer. You move the smooth, I guess it's not backwards, you move the smoothness up and it does smooth it out, so you cannot see it as much. It's almost like applies a kind of a Gaussian blur to it. So I'm going to leave this down so we can see what we're doing, and change it to canvas. Now, I'm not sure why canvas is in here, because I've never seen canvas glass, but I can relate a little bit to this look as it relates to the shower glass doors. This would be another effect kind of I've seen on the shower glass doors. Go out to your local hardware store and look at all the textures on those glasses. And then you have frosted, which to me is very similar to the last one, the canvas. And then we have one called Tiny Lens. And this one's really cool, I think. I like the way this one looks. if you, it's like a bunch of little round dots. If you move it down, you really get a bunch of little round dots. Now let's say I decide I like the way this looks with all these little round dots. And I can click OK, and there it is. Now what you do with it after that is up to you. You know, it's only limited by your imagination. I can maybe put an overlay on it and look at the texture that gives that photo. If I wanted to do layer masks, so it maybe only applied to the sky and not my cornstalk, I could do that. Of course, there's a variety of whoa, now see, that's kind of cool. So you can see how you can go through here and get a ton of various effects. What I want to show you here is that you can add your own texture, and we're going to go to Distort and Glass, and when we bring this up, I'm going to scoot this over, you can see there's a fly out arrow to the right. Now if you can't see this, scoot it over, grab it at the top and scoot it over, or you may need to sometimes change your resolution on your computer desktop. But if you click this fly out arrow and it says load texture, you can bring it up and go to where you saved that texture, that black and white file that we talked about. If you recall the bricks here, I told you at the beginning that I saved them in black and white and saved it as a .psd file. And now this is loaded, so you can get any texture on your photos. So you can see here, if you look closely, we can zoom in a little bit. Okay, not that much. You can really see the texture of the bricks. See here? And that is really pretty cool. I'm going to fit it to screen again. Maybe, I'm not sure where I'm going to put the distortion and the scale effects. I want down here around 100. And I'm going to click OK. And just doing something random, really. That's all the fun of it. And so there we go. We got something totally different by utilizing a texture that I created. And then when you go use the blending modes on this, you can see what that does. It's really, whoops, that one don't look good. Really, really, really kind of cool. There's the hard light. Now think about this, how you could even go back to get your original in color texture and blend that in. And you can see where we're going here. That looks pretty cool. And that looks like a shadow of a a stalk kind of being cast onto the brick wall. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. And that looks psychedelic. And so you can really play around here, and I can't seem to stop playing. Luminosity. Ooh, luminosity, and then drop it down. There we go. That's kind of cool. Okay, y'all stop playing now and move on to the next one. This is something I made here, and here is my final product. And what it is kind of a stained glass look, and I'm going to show you how you can utilize this technique, and then you can take what you learn here and do your own thing. I made this graphic, and it's all on one layer. And I'm going to use my magic wand tool, and I'm going to select, I want to make sure I'm on the add to, all of the similar colors. I'm going to put Control J, so those are on a layer by themselves. And I want to make sure my background color is white. Filter, blur, whoops, distort, glass. And in this case, I did not use this texture before, but that actually looks pretty cool. You know, before I used the frosted, but I think I'm going to leave it on this just to see what something different we get. I like my brick texture. Now you're going to notice when you do this that the edges, the outer edges, are not frosted, and so it kind of is going to lend to a cool effect. Now I'm going to go back to the original one, and let's get all of another color. Control J. This time I don't need to go all the way down to the distort. I can just repeat what I just did by either pressing Control F or clicking here. And it's going to put that on all the green ones. And then I'm going to click on that original layer again. Let's get these goldenrod. Control J to duplicate. Control F to run that filter again. It's just as easy as this. And then here, let's get all the oranges. Control J, Control F to run the filter again. And I think we need to get these dark oranges. Now you need to pay attention, this block here needs to be clicked twice because it's kind of cut off from itself. Control J to put it on its new layer. Control F to run the filter on it. Now I think the only one we have left is the letters. So I'm going to click on each of the letters, Control J, Control F to run the filter on it, and I'm going to actually bring those letters up to the top. Now there we go, we got something cool kind of going on, something unique. But I want to add some layer styles to it. First I'm going to add whatever you want to add. I think I'm going to add the simple emboss. Then I'm going to add a drop shadow. And I'm going to click in here and add a stroke, a black stroke. Let's make it a little bit larger. We're going to kind of put some lines in between here. I'm going to right click on this layer, copy layer style. I'm going to select the top one, hold Shift and Control keys, scroll down and select the bottom one. Now you can see all of these are selected. Right click, paste, and it pastes that layer style into all of them. And I'm almost done. I could leave it just like this. It's kind of a cool effect. Kind of like a glass effect. But I'm going to go ahead and get this original layer and duplicate it and bring it above all the other layers just to add some fun to it. Covers it all up. See? The eye. Brings all that back together. Let's go to the Filter, Render, Lighting Effects, and apply whatever lighting effect you want. I'm going to kind of maybe play with this a little bit. Bring that up to the center. A little bit smaller here or there. Maybe, maybe not. I like the spotlight. There we go. Bring the things, it's going to be different than my first one. Just do something, click OK, and you can see it puts a spotlight on there. And then I'm going to apply a blending mode of overlay, and you can see what that does as it blends down with all these layers below, the before and the after. Now to me that's a little bit too strong. Might try color. No, even though that looks really cool, I kind of really like that. I really do. Not really for the word fall, but I really like that. Well, there's screen, and you can even lower the opacity if it's a little too much. I like the way that kind of keeps the fall colors and yet makes everything a little bit vibrant. So anyway, just get in there and play around and do something. But that's another idea of something that you can do with this. And then, as I said, go back in, check out my layouts that I did. You'll see what I did to utilize it, and I look forward to seeing what you can do with this one.